Indeed, Christ has risen. He is risen indeed. It was so hard for the disciples to believe this. So you remember that on Easter night, they were locked up in their room. They could not believe the women's report. Jesus showed himself to them. So last week we heard the second Sunday after Easter, and again, there they are locked up in their room. Thomas has showed up and said, these women were just hysterical. They must have seen a ghost, and now they're all believing it. They're hiding away. Jesus shows up again. How are we doing by the third week? Well, already on Easter morn, the women had told the men, we went to the tomb, we saw angels. They said, run and tell the disciples, tell Peter, go to Galilee. Jesus promised to meet you there. So, here we are the third week, and to Galilee they have gone. Have they got it right? Well, it does say in verse 1, Sea of Tiberias, that's Lake Galilee, but I want you to notice this. Who's there? Count them in verse 2 in our text. It says Simon Peter, Thomas, called the twin, Nathanael from Cana in Galilee, Zebedee's sons, two of them, James and John, that's 5. And it says 2 other disciples, so the total is 5 plus 2? 7. Now Judas is out of the picture. How many are missing? 4. Where'd they go? Here's another strange thing. What's the plan? Simon Peter says, I'm going fishing. Now, 3 years ago already, Jesus had told Peter, after they had this incredible catch of fish, no more fishing for fish. Now you're going to fish for people. Yeah. You're going to bring people to me, Peter. So what are you doing, Peter? Have you dropped out of the master's business? I love these stories because, they're just not old stories. They're to challenge us. Have you ever been in that place where you're saying, I've got so much I got to do? Maybe you're saying, thank you, Lord, there are so many people in my life that I get to take care of, so many opportunities to share your love. Or sometimes it's like me, Lordy, lots to do, I better take care of myself. We start to act like these disciples. Is Easter true or not? Is Jesus alive? Is he real for us? Is he going to be there with us in our daily stuff? Or are we on our own? Okay, now maybe I'm too hard on Peter. After all, he was a fisherman. Maybe he's just hungry. But I think there's more going on here. I'm sick of Jerusalem, this cramped hiding place, this religious box. Sunday after Sunday, it seems like Jesus is there with us, but then he disappears. And all week, he's gone. Is Peter saying, but now, oh, the sea breeze. Wow. Look, the fish jumping under the stars. Here's where we grew up, friends. The good old days. This is the real world. Our own beds, in our own homes. Tonight, let's do some honest work and earn an honest shekel. Working with our hands. I'm going fishing. And the other 6 say, we're going with you. We'll show our old neighbors. We'll show our family. We can make something of ourselves yet. You can just picture them gleefully grabbing their old knotted fishing nets, splashing the boat down, breathing in that wet wood and tar, wrapping their fingers around the oars. Wow. How long has it been? This is glorious. There they go, gliding out into the moonlight. Like this makes me some sort of a dropout, Peter says. I'm just a fisherman. Well, if Peter's gone off course, that's Peter's story. But he's Jesus' best friend. I mean, Peter should be more attentive to what the mission is. Me, on the other hand, it's not like I'm Jesus' best friend. I mean, really, what can I do for Jesus? So you see, this Jesus has burst into our lives, the ruler of wind and the waves, the great storm stiller. And we really think there's nothing we can do? Do we forget who we're working for? Are we in the fishing business with Jesus? Or are we dropouts? Just playing a weekend religious game. I'm going fishing. We're with you. And then John remembers, we were out in that boat all night long, and we caught, what? Zilch! Imagine working all night long and not a minnow to show for it. Zip. Nothing. Again, I think it's not just an old story. Now maybe some of us would object, well, my net's not empty. I mean, I've got lots of great stuff in my life. And I'll say to you, great. If your life is full, that's thanks to who? But you know, a lot of other people say, my life does feel empty. Sometimes I feel like I'm fishing around in the dark, and for what end? I work and I sleep, I work and I sleep, I work and I sleep, I work and I die? Why? Well, here's the story that's telling us. Without Jesus, the fishing stinks. Without Jesus, the net gain is zilch. So, verse 5. The sky's starting to pink up. There's a morning mist, and a stranger on the shore shouts, "Boys, got no fish?" Is that a polite question? What a wise guy. Not a nice thing to ask fishermen who have empty nets. But these guys, they don't grumble, they don't gripe, they don't even try to defend themselves. They're so depressed, discouraged. They give him a single syllable as a grunt, "No." And the stranger yells, "Cast your net on the right side of the boat. Maybe you'll find some." Again, this is funny. How often do professional fishermen take advice from some landlubber who shows up at dawn? But these guys, they got nothing to lose. They're such losers. Again, I wonder if it's about me, if it's about us. Do we get to that point where we're so desperate, whatever help anybody shouts? Or maybe there was some hint of hope in that voice. Hooked them. Well, it says they cast the net out, and they were not able to haul it in. They did not have the strength. So many fish. It's not just a fishing story. John gets specific later. They were big ones. How many? 153. You can hear them bragging. 153 whoppers. Always. Come on, my boys. Come on, girls. Let's go. Let's let go of your failure. Grab hold of my big, beautiful gift. The voice of the Easter one. So here it is. The sun is just rising, and now it finally dawns on John. Peter, don't you remember? This is like what happened to us when we were fishing 3 years ago. It's the Lord. So Peter has stripped to his shorts for that hot work all night long. He hears it's the Lord, and what does he do? To me, it's the funniest part of the story to me. Before he jumps in, what does he do? He puts his cloak on. Now, I've been to the beach before. What you do is you get to the beach and you take your outer clothes off your swim trunks, and then you get in the water, right? Have you ever seen anybody go to the beach and put clothes? I mean, even the Mennonites don't do that. Let's put on another coat and jump in. What are you doing, Peter? All wrapped up, flopping overboard. There he is. gasping and grasping. He's thrashing in the water 100 yards to the shore. This is dumb. Why did you put your coat on? This is dumb. Adam and Eve, why are you hiding behind fig leaves? This is ridiculous. What are we trying to hide? Dumb. Hide from who? Dumb, diddly dumb dropouts. So now we got Peter standing on the shore. His friends are straining at the oars with all these fish flopping in the net, dragging behind the boat. They never could pick that net up and get it into the boat like they usually did. There was too many. Peter's puffing air, these wet clothes clinging to him, the hair matted, dripping down off his shoulders, this cold water running off his thighs, dripping on the stony beach. The chill morning breeze, the low sun blinking, shivering. Poor Peter. Poor fisherman. Poor dropouts. And what's Jesus doing? Jesus is cooking. When they got ashore, it says in verse 9, they see charcoal fire in place with fish on the coals. Where did those fish come from? You know, even if we don't bring fish, does that mean Jesus is going to go out of business? They see this fish already grilling there and this bread, and Jesus says, bring some of the fish that you just caught. So Simon Peter goes back aboard the boat, and he hauls that net ashore, pulling them up on the beach. Large fish, 153, so many of them, yet the net is not torn, it says. And Jesus calls, come. Have breakfast. Come on. It's all on me. Fresh grilled fish, toasty bread. I've done it all. I've brought the feast. I've baked it up. I'm here to serve you. Everything is ready. I want you to see how the Easter man encounters these dropouts, and what does he do with them? He doesn't say, what's the deal, boys? Who are you working for? Just the opposite. Jesus says, look at this. I'm here to work for you. Come on. Have breakfast. You dropouts, come on, eat with me. Sinners, come on, be my friends again. For this I live. That I, the host, that I, your master, that I can serve you. Break the fast. Why are you grubbing around in the deep dead of the night for nothing? Come on, it's my dawn. That stuff's all done. Why are you fishing for no fish? It's finished. This is a new day. The dropouts are done. The sun is up. I'm rising to the sky. I will break your fast. Eat with me. Drink with me. Eat me up. Love me up. Come on, I love you. Dropouts. It's cookout time. Come. Have my breakfast. So Peter, are you supposed to stand there shivering, all shamed? I don't think so. Come on, Peter. The guilt's forgiven. He's forgotten it all. It's gone. The dropout, you see, is restored, saved by grace. There's this love that is not deserved, served by the master. A cookout for dropouts. Beautiful story. The Lord's invitation. And there's even this little bit more. Because Jesus says, bring some of the fish that you just caught. In other words, I don't need your fish, but I'll use them. Bring them. You're back in business with me. You are rehired. You want some honest work, Peter? Fish with me. It's so good. It's so easy. It's so satisfying. It's so glorious because it's already all finished. You're just netting them. Come on, with me. All hell cannot break my net. My church will prevail. Big ones, 153. Look at them flip-flopping around. It's for you. Come on. Bring them in. So at the end here, when Peter gets a new job from Jesus, you think Jesus is saying to Peter, now you got to pay for giving up? I think Jesus is saying to Peter, it's all paid. Come on. I've got a purpose for your life. And when Jesus says to me, when Jesus says to you, you've got a job to do. There's people that need your love in this world. Yeah, it's going to hurt you. There's people that need your forgiveness. It's not easy. This is your job to do. You think it's because Jesus is out to punish you? Don't you see? This is what he does. He's saying, come on. You can join me in my work. This is your privilege. Long and short, without Jesus, you're fishing for nothing. But with Jesus, it doesn't matter what pond he sends you to. With Jesus, what a joy. What a purpose. Lord, so who are we working for? We don't want to be dropouts. Make us sick and tired of long days and hard nights with no net gain. Lord, let us go fishing with you. You, our friend. You, the real wise guy. Let me live my life as if I am the one burst free from the tomb. Put these hopes in my heart, Lord, as you work for us. Amen. What a great story. I just love it. It's the Lord. And there's Peter diving in. And Jesus says, come on, have, well, not breakfast for us, it's dinner. There's a feast for us. Thanks be to God. Christ has risen.
He is risen indeed.
We got all kinds of people to pray for here, and I want to add a prayer for Clara. Our 102-year-old friend is up at Sarasota Memorial with tests, some discomfort in her stomach. Are there other prayers that you guys would like to add? Wow.
My sister-in-law, Margaret's uncle, who's with ALS and in an emergency situation today.
Okay.
Green Valley, Arizona. Margaret.
Words go. Tom?
My mother, Eileen, peace and comfort.
In Wheaton, wonderful Wheaton, Illinois, right?
Well,
That area.
east
Okay.
ahead.
Please, Elfrida?
I'd like to thank you so much for all your prayers.
Yeah, Diane was asking prayers for her daughter. Elfrida's asking prayers for her daughter, Diane. The test results were good.
And my neighbor who lost her husband about a month ago, her mother just died.
Oh boy, so another grief. We'll pray healing for her heart. What's her name?
Yara.
For Yara?
Yara. Y-A-R-A.
I'm reading my scribble. I got that right. Other prayers, please. Julie?
Bud and Renee, please, friends of
Okay.
cancer and lupus.
Okay. Bud and Renee, healing and God's care for them.
Please.
It's part of what we get to do together, pray for each other. Yep. Let's stand as we go to our good Lord.